Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma. Our heroes today are going to be Dullahan, playing for the US forces in the blue, and his opponent in the red is going to be Mr. Vladislavs89 as the red OKW Army, the Oberkommando West. Now, these two players, I mean, they're not, top tier. They are within 200 and 300 range, I believe, each, in their respective factions. So, not the toppest of plays, but, well, way better than me, and, pretty evenly matched, I should say. So let's take a look at what's been going on. So, Vladislav gets himself a Kubel wagon right off the bat. That is pretty nice. We also see that Dullahan is building some tank traps. Interesting choice. He only builds one out there in the open. It does provide some heavy cover as well, so I suppose it's not too bad of an option. Kubel wagon already set up, and Static manages to get the suppression off and gets the rear echelon squad. Rear echelon squad manages to crawl outside of the arc of fire, staving the suppression off a little bit longer, but they will eventually fall and are forced to run away. Dullahan goes for a rear echelon heavy opening. He does have 3 of them on the field now, so he is more than likely to be building a lot of, I guess, tank traps along the way. But it is a cool thing about the tank traps that they do provide that heavy cover as well, so they offer 2 simultaneous abilities there. Popular choice here to be laying down some wire in front of this tank so that your opponent cannot get the benefits of that heavy cover, at least not easily. And we see that a rifle squad, and second rifle squad, in fact, has been brought into the field for Dullahan. So 3 rear echelons into 2 rifles. It's an interesting choice. Kubel wagon, once again, stopping another rear echelon squad very easily, getting it pinned down. Gonna have to retreat right away, otherwise it's gonna take a lot of damage, and Dullahan is letting it sit there for quite a bit. The Kubel wagon decides to move out of the way, suspecting that the rear echelon squad is just distracting it. Decides to place itself in a better position. The rear echelon squad breaks the suppression, gets on top of the Kubel wagon once again. Kubel wagon setting up once again to get the suppression effects off, and does not manage to capture the rear echelon squad again. Vladislav, thinking twice about his decision, decides to just back off and keep his gun pointed towards the enemy. Medic thing, ambulance, being produced for Dullahan. We also see Volks Grenadiers now on the field for Vladislav. He's got 3 of them, one being produced, one coming on the field right now. You can see it right there. So it is 3 in total. And the truck is just back at base, not actually doing anything. And down south, the rifle squad and the rear echelon squad run into a Volkswagen squad, which is forced to retreat. Doesn't actually take too much damage, decides to retreat before anything happens. And once again, we see Dullahan just laying down tank traps all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like he's more inclined to use those as heavy cover that he can acquire in those sections. I mean, obviously his enemy can use it against him as well, but, well, we'll see if that actually comes into play. So far, nothing much going on in the game. Down south, another tank trap being produced, so yeah. Storm Pioneer squad up in the north, engaging a rifle squad and a excuse me, I had to burp. And the rear echelon squad. The rear echelon squad pops its volley, manages to get a suppression off on the Storm Pilot squad. The Storm Pilot squad closes the distance, and the rear echelon squad backs off to get itself into the cover of the house. Second rear echelon squad retreating from the center down to 1 man, barely makes it out of there alive. The Storm Pilot squad now engaging the rifle squad that is currently being suppressed by the Kubel wagon, forces it away, and it makes it out of there again once alive. Rear echelon squad decides to pop itself to the other side of the fence and then retreat to have a little bit of a better angle of retreat. It's going to have to retreat through the Storm Pioneers, but the Storm Pioneers are only 3, so they don't have their full firepower, and the rear echelon squad is a 4-man squad, so it's quite fine. Volksgren's down south, engaging a rifle squad, down to 3 men on the rifle squad, but it does win the engagement against one of the Volksgrenadiers. Second squad behind it, and the Kubel wagon there for support. Force the rifle squad to move out of the way. It's not currently retreating, it's just going to backpedal. We do have an ambulance on the field, but it looks like Dullahan is more interested in just leaving it in front of the base to have, to be able to heal his troops once they're, back at base. Rear Echelon Squad moving up to the north. The Storm Pioneers taking cover in the tank trap. They decide to move away. Volksgren Squad nearby. The rear Echelon Squad gets itself the hazard removal package just in case. But yeah, I mean, you can see that these guys don't actually get the toggle to recover their lost carbine. Whereas the Storm Pioneers, if they go for their hazard removal package, they do. So that's nice. Again, I didn't know. Second Rear Echelon Squad and the Rifle Squad close in the distance on the Kubelwagen. Kubelwagen taking about 50% damage is able to back away. The Rear Echelon Squad retreats. Second Squad opening on a volley to the Volksgren Squad. The Volksgren Squad gets itself a Shrek, and we now have a Lieutenant on the field for Dullahan, which will help him out immensely as far as firepower goes against infantry. Down south, we have a long-range engagement between Volksgrens and a Rifle Squad. We have a second Rifle Squad in the zone. However, it is a three-man squad. Still on the field, hasn't retreated. May have actually just been better for it to retreat and reinforce, but it is still on the field. Vladislav and Dullahan have both selected their Doctrine. We have Doctrine selections as Infantry Company for Dullahan and Scavenge Doctrine for Vladislav. So Vladislav calls in his troops there, but they are forced to retreat since they just popped into the center of everything with a lieutenant popping into the house where they came out of. Volksgren Squad as well, forced to retreat. Too much firepower in the center for them to deal with. And there they go. Down south, Rifle Squad does win the engagement against the Volksgrens. The Volksgrens down to 2 men, forced to retreat. Squad with 3 men in the center, still capturing. We see a Rear Echelon Squad going for the harassing cutoff of the strategic point, so the fuel point in the south is no longer in control for Vladislav. Vladislav still has the northern one, so he is in a good spot there. Storm Pilot Squad retreating from the north. Not sure why, but, well, there it went. Battle Group Headquarters for Vladislav, just set up in the base as a medic station, will help out his retreated troops. And the squad that appeared is the Jaeger Light Infantry Recon Squad. So it is not the best as, infantry, but it does ambush with appearing, in buildings and such. So it's a nice thing to have. But yeah, I mean, they have G43, so I suppose they're great, but whatever. Anyways, up in the north, we hear an engagement. We have Rear Echelon Squad and Rifle Squad and the Lieutenant engaging the Kubelwagen. The Kubelwagen retreats, gets itself out of the way. We also see, again, a wiring of this position. Very nice. It is very popular for it to be wired off to make the movement very similar as it once was. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, interesting. Joer Panzer Headquarters getting produced for Vladislav, setting it up pretty aggressively, although it is shot blocked here, but it does cover this area and the strategic point, so it can still get harassed from the south, but at least it is in range of it and not directly getting shot at, so, it's an interesting position for it to be in. Mortar half-track on the field for Dullahan. That is from his Doctrine, obviously. You can't build this by default. Does open up with a mortar barrage on top of something. What is it trying to hit? Something in the fuel. It actually goes for a smoke barrage? Huh. Okay. And... oh, the white phosphorus. Okay, that's what it is. So yeah, that actually is just incendiary, essentially. It also blocks the line of sight, but yeah, you don't want to step through that. Panzer Headquarters getting some shots off into the church as a 50 cal machine gun set up in there, but makes it away. And there we go. What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green is green can be. We're taking fire! Sorry about that, got a little bit distracted. People messaging me on the phone. I'm just so popular, No, just kidding. But yeah, I did get a message. Sorry about that. Too unprofessional of me. Anyways, 50 cal machine gun for Dullahan moves down to support the engagement. We have a Rifle Squad and Rear Echelon Squad engaging against a Jaeger Light Infantry and a Panzer Grenadier Squad. The Jaegers are pinned down, and both squads down here are forced to retreat as a flanking Volk Grenadier Squad puts the fear in them and gets them away. The 50 cal machine gun still getting the damage in on that squad. Now going to be engaging the Storm Pioneers. Storm Pioneers getting suppressed, getting pinned down after that. No, they forced to retreat. There they go. Volkskrins run into a cluster of rifles and are forced to retreat. The lieutenant, closing the distance, will not be able to clean up the squad, but it does get a lot of damage in there. Not really, but there you go. Shoe mines set up in the approach. Oh, the lieutenant runs straight into the shoe mine, detonated, down to one man. Only one man left alive with the bar equipped. The Kubel wagon may be able to eliminate the lieutenant squad. The lieutenant squad was mismanaged here. Nobody paying attention to the man left in the lieutenant squad. The heads to retreat. Can he make it out? No, he won't. He won't. No, he won't. No. Nope. There you go. A little bit too late on that, and a nice pickup there for Vladislav as he nails the lieutenant. Is currently going to get triple capped, however, by Dullahan. Dullahan sitting comfortably at 500 points, and Vladislav is now down to 300 points, almost 300. And in the north, we see Wire getting laid down aggressively here by Dullahan, just to cover the approach. We see tank traps also getting laid down. I mean, so far in the game, the tank traps have not really done anything as far as... Oh, what was that? There you go. As far as obstructing vehicle pathing, but, I mean, they are being used for heavy cover, as you can see. Still have a mortar on the field. Hasn't really done anything. Shots flying into the church. The church is equipped... Well, not the church itself, but, you know, the church is currently garrisoned by a Volkskrins squad equipped with a Shrek, but it is too far off range that it will not be able to do anything as far as damage goes here. As far as building goes, we still have nothing on the field for Dullahan, and by that I mean, you know, he hasn't gotten a lieutenant, I mean a captain or a major just yet, so there you go. There we go, gets a captain, so exactly what I was thinking. 50 cal machine gun sitting there in the center. We have a Obersoldaten going for the center point. And up in the north, we see Jaeger, light infantry, and Volkskrins moving around. Gonna go and try to recap points. Rifle squad down south, going all the way up to the front of the base and decapping that strategic point. Fuel point also getting recapped here by Dullahan. He owns the northern one, so he is getting a very healthy income here, 36 to 10, so I mean it's pretty significant. And the mortar half-track has so far only gotten one kill. So yeah, you got mortar barrage, that's the basic one, or you can do white phosphorus, which is yeah, I mean essentially it's smoke, but it also burns the area, so yeah, you gotta get out of there. Rifle squad getting a nice flank here on the Obersoldaten as they are getting shot at by the 50 cal machine gun. Down to one man, forced to retreat. The Panzer headquarters will stop that rifle squad and it gets to retreat. Kubel wagon getting some damage off on them as they retreat, but it's a 4-man squad. It's pretty healthy, so it'll be fine. Rear echelon squads pushing forward. Nice decision for Dullahan to get that hazard removal package at this point. Since he did lose his, well, not at this point, but before, but, you know, it's a nice thing that he has it because he did lose his lieutenant at one point. So it means that Vladislav is not a stranger to lay down mines at some points. Storm Pioneer squad pushing forward. 50 cal machine gun getting flanked by the Volkskrins. Rifle squad not going to be able to win that engagement. The 50 cal machine gun hits sprint to get itself out of the way. My mistake, I thought it was retreating. Sets itself up a little bit further back in the crater that the mine left where the lieutenant fell, and is opening up on the Volkskrins. The Volkskrins are suppressed. They are still in the fight. The rifle squad trying to get as much damage as they can. Grenade goes off. Assault grenades on top of the rifles. The rifles down to 2 men, very low in health. Forces to retreat, and there they go. We now have a captain on the field. Captain pushes forward. The Volkskrins are forced to retreat, and away they go. Raketen Warfare on the field for Vladislav, just as a defensive measure for his Schwer Panzer headquarters. But aside from that, I mean, not much going on there. Volkskrins up in the north running into a rear echelon squad. It activates its volley fire, but it doesn't look like it's being too effective. Does manage to force the retreat of one of those Volkskrins. The second squad is still engaging. Going to be throwing grenades off on the rifle. The rifle squad tries to dodge it, gets a little bit damaged, loses one of its men, but it is still alive. Volkskrins retreat, and the engagement is one up in the north for Dullahan. Mortar squad has gotten 3 kills to its name so far. No friendly kills, so that's great for a mortar. And there they go. Obersoldaten down south, engaging... capturing territory. There they go.
Our supply line just got cut off. We're losing a capture point.
Not much going on here. We hear an engagement down south. We have Storm Pios and the rear echelon squad engaging. Rear echelon squad pops itself into the house. They have themselves an LMG, which will allow them to put a lot of damage down on that Storm Pioneer squad. Storm Pioneer squad also getting mortar at the same time. Obviously, he has the LMG available because of the infantry company, so that is where. Rear echelon squad pops out of the house since it has taken quite a bit of damage, wants to stay alive. And in the center of the map, we have white phosphorus getting tossed into the church, sets it ablaze, and it forces the Volkskrins to get the hell out of there. They are actually smoking as they run because they are phosphorused. Obersoldaten in the center, down to one man, forces the retreat of that one squad. Second squad moves in, gets some grenades off on the captain. The captain forced to retreat, and the AT gun is forced to back off as he does not want to lose it. It's already down to 2 men. Does set up in a weird angle, however, but it just needs to back off and get itself into safety. Steward on the field for Dullahan. That will help him out quite immensely against what Vladislav has to offer right now. The Obersoldaten will just simply die to it, and the Kubel wagon is also a prime target for the Steward. Steward, however, decides to engage the Obersoldaten instead, gets some shots off, does not kill them, and, well, just doesn't really accomplish much. Only has a little bit of damage that it has inflicted so far. Up in the north, rifle squads for Dullahan recapturing. We have currently a double cap with a center point being decapped against Vladislav. Vladislav is down to 152 points. He has to start putting the pressure on those victory points and at least control one so that the bleed is not that significant. Sometimes you forget about it and it ends up biting you in the ass. Down south, the Steward seems to have hit another mine. No, there's Shreks here. So yeah, he ran into a bunch of Shreks. The vehicle crew decides to pop out of its vehicle and then abandon it. Just leave it there. What are you doing, Dullahan? Always remember that you can just pop your crew out, hit right-click for repair, and then shift. Wait a couple seconds and shift right-click to crew up your vehicle, and the crew will pop into the vehicle immediately as soon as the repairs are done. Helps you out without, so that you don't accidentally leave a vehicle decrewed there. Captain pushes forward very aggressively, getting right on top of the Volkskrins and the Obersoldaten. It's taking a lot of damage there. It is being supported now by a 50 cal machine gun and a rifle squad with LMGs, or at least one LMG. How many does he have, in fact? We see the rifle squad with one LMG. One. LMG. And well, there you go. Jaeger light infantry going for the cap of the center point. Another batch of incendiary rounds, or, well, white phosphorus rounds. I mean, that is a very nice strategy to use with your mortar half-track, but it is, you know, a little bit intensive on those munitions, and, you know, doesn't seem to be getting too much effect, but at least it dislodges your enemy from those entrenched positions. Obersoldaten getting cover in the wall there. We see that the 50 cal machine gun got decrewed here by the Obersoldaten. The Steward is covering the position. Rear echelon squad goes for the recap of the 50 cal. This is where having the ambulance aggressively is, you know, suggested, because, you know, you can have it up front here covering your troops, reinforcing on the fly, and even healing up, getting your AT gun and your 50 cal machine gun reinforced. So, I mean, much like you would with a half-track, you kind of want to have it on the field. I mean, I understand why people just leave it there and use it, but it's like the lazy man's way of doing it, but I guess. Anyways, Priest on the field getting a barrage off. It's going to nail the Schwerpanzer headquarters and may actually take it out. It is down to less than half health now. Oh, a nicely placed shot there by the Priest. Hits the house, collapses it completely, and the Racket the Warfare is actually lost to the battlefield. We see that Vladislav is getting himself a Panther, I believe. Most Grand squads go down south and decrew that AT gun very easily. The Steward moves up through the center, getting shot at by the Schwerpanzer headquarters, taking a lot of damage, down to about 25% strength. Needs to get the hell out of there, otherwise he's going to die. A massive push here by infantry into the center by Dullahan. Not exactly the best thing to do because you're running into the Schwerpanzer headquarters. But if you can spread out, lead the charge with the say, the rifles or the rear echelon squad and allow the captain to close the distance and get some barrages off with its bazookas, it could actually clear it out and be the difference. However, Panther is now on the field for Vladislav. Panther, obviously more signed against armor, but it can help out against the infantry. And with the tank here, the damn it, the steward. I'm looking at the name. Why can't I say it? With the steward around, it does have something to shoot at. However, the steward goes for the kill, gets right on top of the Schwerpanzer headquarters and eliminates it. The steward also hits its... no, it didn't look like it. Looked like it had already popped it. Yeah, Panther kills the steward because, you know, Panther's going to kill the steward very easily, and there it goes. Priest is on the field, and the Panther can very easily go and kill it. The AT gun has been decrewed by Vladislav. However, he is down to 60 points. He needs to get the hell out of there. And a unit inside the church got eliminated. Not exactly sure what it was. Captain is still alive. Rear echelon squad are still at 3. I don't actually know what it was. I wasn't paying attention. There you go. Jaeger light infantry trying to support the Panther, but the Panther is now going to get shot at by bazookas as the captain pops into the house. Panther not going to be able to do too much there. The Jaeger light infantry retreating. Obersoldat trying to cover the center as the triple cap has been effectuated against Dullahan, so Vladislav realizing the importance of those victory points. He is down to 59 now. Losing the northern point to a rifle squad, going to be losing the center point to the rear echelon squads, and the southern one is currently still in his possession. However, with a 50 cal machine gun nearby, no, manages to get the retreat, so away it goes. Priest taking a barrage very close by, forces the Panther to back away as it has taken some damage, down to about half health. And the rear echelon squads retreat from the center as they were getting assaulted here by Jaeger light infantry and the Volkskrans. Volkskrans going for the cap. Still no tanks so far. The Panther could very easily go and kill these vehicles, but it is, well, essentially covered by rifle grenades and, anti-tank rifle grenades and the bazookas. So, you know, it's still risky. It's not an easy thing to do. And he needs at least one Stormpire squad to repair. Does get himself one squad, so he'll push forward there, but there you go. So the Panther, sitting in the center, just getting some shots off at a distance, not able to do too much. Once again, the mortar being very annoying with its white phosphorus, forcing whatever troops are inside the church to pop out. G43 is firing at a distance from the Jaeger light infantry. We see a flanking rifle squad getting right on top of the Volkskrans. The Volkskrans gonna try to face off with them. They do manage to do that. Panther getting some shots off at a distance. Again, it's not anti-infantry, so it doesn't manage to do much. And we see a bombardment going off here by the Priest. Also, we see a Kholodny artillery, time on target artillery, which is a an artillery barrage that takes a while to hit, but it is a very quick succession landing of shells. You can see it right there. Look at that. Anything caught in the artillery blast is just going to get annihilated, but it is quite easy to dodge. Down south, we see a rear echelon squad going down for the victory point, gonna decap it, and we see that Dullahan has captured the center victory point. With this point getting recaptured, it's gonna be a triple cap once again against Vladislav, and I don't think Vladislav has enough to be able to recapture. He would, yeah, I mean, he needed to focus on one to be able to just push and harass the other one, because Dullahan has been doing a great job at just getting those points. Sending his troops up to the north, he's gonna get the northern point recaptured. He has a squad in the center. It's an Obersoldaten squad. Gonna go decrew the AT gun. Manages to do that very quickly with the Obersoldaten, as they are, you know, quite great. Down to 2 men. They actually managed to dodge grenades and make it out of there just fine. The Panther pushes forward right on top of the rifles and the captain. Stormpire squad moving in to engage. Down to 21 points for Vladislav. He was going for another direction and not capturing the point. He is not capturing the point. What is he doing? He has, oh no, it's a very bad positioning there for his northern Jaeger light infantry. He's trying to go for the cap here, but down to 9 points, and without the decap of this point, he's still going to lose. He may be able to get the decap of the center point, but with 3 points left, that is all she's going to read or write. GG throws Vladislav, and down to 1 point, and that is it. Ooh, I'm not sure if this would have saved him, but it may have given him time. But yeah, that is very unfortunate. Just look at that. He's sitting on the line an inch to the right, and he would have been golden. Oh well. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.